Should I just have a conversation with Rex?
Should we put him in the chair afterwards and he can be the interviewer?
Yeah, we can. You know when like it's like a joking thing to start, and then it like cuts to the serious. So anyway.
Who are Better Planet?
So Better Planet are a family-based company. We started back in 2006. It was my mum and my dad who started the company. They're both now company directors, and I work on the domestic side, specialising in air source, solar panels, underfloor heating, and sort of take care of that side of the business. Whereas Thomas and Stephanie, their focus is more on the commercial side.
What do Better Planet specialise in?
So we specialise in a lot of things. Predominantly we've been a ground source heat pump company. We've been doing ground source since 2006, and the majority of our business used to be ground source. There was a change in incentives. It changed from the RHI to what's now called the BUS, the Boiler Upgrade Scheme. And while the Boiler Upgrade Scheme still promotes air source really well, the incentives from ground source has dramatically decreased. So we still love our ground source, we're still heavily invested in it, but we have changed our portfolio so that we're now specialising in ground source, as well as that we're really focusing on air source. We believe that's going to be the real push in the UK. The majority of the domestic homeowners are going to have an air source heat pump installed in their house throughout the next sort of 5, 10, 15 years. So that is where we're looking to specialise in.
What makes Better Planet stand out?
So what makes Better Planet stand out to other competitors is we have our own team of building service engineers. So all of the design we do for each project is completely bespoke to you. That is important because, particularly in the UK, every single property seems to be slightly different. And as well as that, every single homeowner's expectations of the heat pump, what they want the heat pump to do, is slightly different as well. So we don't believe in a cookie cutter approach. We believe in a case-by-case sort of holistic approach at each property based on the demands of the property and also the clients. And having an in-house team of building service engineers is a big part of that. Another step is we have our own team of installers trained as plumbers and electricians. So this way we can carry on this specific approach where everyone in the company is working together, whether it's us in the sales team, whether it's the building service engineers, whether it's the installers. We're all singing off the same hymn sheet to provide the best service for the clients.
What type of projects do you Better Planet do?
So we, like I mentioned earlier, we're looking on the domestic, the residential market, and also the commercial market. So, we love helping homeowners who want to change their heating system, potentially look at underfloor heating and solar panels, and whether that's a retrofit project, whether it's a comprehensive renovation or a new build. But we are working more and more in the commercial market, whether that's schools, universities, blocks of flats. I think with our longevity in the industry and our expertise, whether on the design team and on the installation team, we feel that we're well equipped to handle both sectors.
How do I know what heat pump is right for me?
So it's a very tricky question because there are so many options out there. Like I said, we don't believe in a cookie cutter approach. We don't believe in just giving you one system and that's the system you have to go for. It's really about having a honest conversation with you and having a look at the property and then providing you with lots of different options and seeing what type of heat pumps fits best. For example, if you have a big garden with lots of land, it might make more sense to do a ground source with horizontal loops. If you've got no outside space at all, then you can look at solutions like exhaust air heat pumps. So with Better Planet, we offer such a wide variety of heat pumps, air source, ground source, exhaust air, multi-source, water source. Then we can really, all options are open and we can really have a deep look at it.
Are heat pumps noisy?
So there is a noise attached to heat pumps. Obviously you have the compressor in the outside unit and you have the fan. I'm reluctant to say that they're not noisy, because I can appreciate that everyone's ears are finely tuned slightly differently, but I personally don't believe they're noisy at all. So it's really a case of, once we have done a room-by-room heat loss survey and we can establish what size and what type of heat pump you're looking at, we can take a look into the sound power ratings, and then we can try and compare that to a noise that you've heard before. And in a lot of cases, we take our clients out to existing properties to let them listen to the heat pump that's going into their house, and then they can really understand the noise that they're dealing with.
What is better, a ground source or an air source heat pump?
So the difference with an air and ground source, well, there are lots of differences really. One is the actual efficiency of the two heat pumps. Now, the efficiency of a heat pump varies depending on the outdoor temperature. When it's warmer than 7 degrees outside, air source is actually more efficient than ground source, because there's more heat energy in the air for the heat pump to extract. When it's colder than 7 degrees, ground source is actually more efficient. So what we see when we look at the data on an average heating year is that ground source tends to be 18% more efficient than air source. So your running costs on an average heating year will be 18% less than with an air source heat pump. You also have a sort of aesthetic point of view. Heat pumps, they're not typically noisy, but there is still a noise, and there can be an eyesore of an outdoor unit. With a ground source, there's a bit of upheaval when you're getting the ground source in, but once it's in, there's no external unit, so it can look quite nice. Ground source also wins in terms of longevity. Now, the majority of the cost involved with a ground source installation is the system in the ground, the ground collector, whether you're going with boreholes or horizontal loops. And that system can sustain several generations of heat pumps. So it's basically an infrastructure that will add to the value of your property. So from ground source is typically more expensive than air source, sometimes considerably more, but it's viewed as a more long-term option.
How do I get a heat pump?
So the best way is just to give us a call at the office, or you can drop an inquiry into the website. That will come straight through to our sales engineers, and we can talk you through some of the different options, and provide some initial indicative pricing. We believe in being heating consultants. We will never push one option, towards you if you're not comfortable with it, and we will try and find the best solution for, like I said, your property, but also your requirements as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this format of a Q&A, then just drop any questions you have in the comment section below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Good question. Get off of me, you stinky little